Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's take a look at the headlines. Parliament wants government to implement relocation of all government ministries to Webaja. At least 28,000 former combatants receive amnesty, with most smoothly reintegrated. High Court Criminal Division allowed the DPP to take over case filed against General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. And NUP leadership starts a nationwide Kunga Gwanga campaign in Fort Portal. Hello once again. Parliament wants government to expedite the implementation of the strategic plan to relocate all government ministries, departments and agencies to Webaja as means of decreasing expenditure on renting office premises. This is contained among the 6 recommendations in the report of the Parliament Sectorial Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry on the utilization of supplementary budget for the financial year 2021-2022 to the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives for rent of new office premises. The committee also tasks the Inspectorate of Government to investigate the former Permanent Secretary, Grace Adong Choda, for initiating a supplementary budget outside the relevant procedures.
The Parliamentary Committee on Tourism, Trade and Industry, chaired by Mwine Mpaka, reveals that the foul play in the management of 8 billion supplementary budget meant for renting of new office premises at Kingdom, Kampala, originates after Grace Adong Choda, the former Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Trade, Tourism and Cooperatives, based on what was described as personal conviction and statements that the farmer's house, which houses the ministry, was dilapidated and unfit for occupancy.
But shockingly, the committee established that on the same day of 4th August 2021, the acting permanent secretary, Mrs. Choda Adong Grace, requested for a supplementary budget amounting to 8 billion for rent of new office premises from the PSST even before the nominated technical team of Ministry of Works could start its work to assess the building.
Although the work plan to rent the new offices was later reviewed after the approval of the Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to renovate the farmer's house, the report contains the cost.
However, my concern here is that procurement is a process, and whatever happens as a process, where was the minister in all this that was happening? Where was the minister in all this that was happening?
Honorable members, Honorable Esther, I want you to know that the minister is the political head. The technical head of an institution is the PS. Keep off our politicians. Politicians are not a party to it.
Right, Honorable.
Recently, the Permanent Secretary, Geraldine Sally, explained why she changed the work plan, which was initiated by her predecessor.
That if I actually did something like going off to pay 8 billion per year, vis-a-vis the little surcharge I pay here of 141 million per year, I just knew that my appointing authority would cut me out in the first 2-3 months of that decision. So I decided to explore the options of renting, fixing the building, because I thought it was a very good building.
Grace Adong Choda being investigated by the Inspectorate of Government and the DPP with a view of prosecution under Section 11 and 20 of the Anti-Corruption Act 2009 for initiating a request for a supplementary budget worth 8 billion for rent.
In the process of renovating the farmer's house, the report pins ministry officials on exaggerating transport fares to the tune of 570 million to shift documents from Kampala to Entebbe. Mwine Mpaka says the Auditor General should initiate a forensic audit to the effect.
With the view of compelling the culpable public officers to refund the monies expended to them irregularly.
The 16 recommendations in the Mwine Mpaka's report provides for a solution that government speeds up the strategic plan to relocate all its ministries, departments and agencies to Webaja intended one-stop point to avoid costs of renting and further mismanagement of funds.
15 government should finalize and undertake deliberate measures to implement the strategic plan for relocating all government ministries, departments and agencies to Bwebaja as a means of decreasing government expenditure through rent of office premises. And lastly, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, accounting officers should desist from undertaking expenditures that exhibit lack of appreciation of accounting laws, regulations and procedures.
We all have a duty to fight corruption in this country, and my ministry will be working with other authorities to take action on the recommendation by the committee.
Thank you so much, Honourable Minister.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
The Uganda Amnesty Commission continues to work closely with communities welcoming ex-fighters. About 28,000 former combatants have received amnesty, with most smoothly reintegrated. The chief legal advisor notes amnesty is a right, though exceptions for denial exist.
The Uganda Amnesty Commission has so far granted amnesty to 28,500 ex-combatants who openly denounced rebellion in various parts of the country. This positive gesture has contributed to a reduction in criminality. Among those granted amnesty are high-profile individuals who had committed atrocities, whether through recruitment, abduction or personal choice.
Remember the late Bamuze from the Arua region. You remember the recently returned people from the Central African Republic, and there was a Major General whom we are now considering to grant amnesty. There is also the Omusinga of Renzururu, the king, and we have already granted amnesty, and very soon we shall re-engage with the process of meeting some of the people who were involved in that incident.
Nathan Twino, the chief legal advisor of the Amnesty Commission, emphasizes that amnesty is not extended to children who engage in rebel activities without consent.
But if you were abducted and you are an adult and you commit offenses while in the bush, then you will be granted amnesty if you ask for it, for the offenses you may have committed while in the bush. Some who may have committed very serious offenses, we will not grant amnesty. But those who may have committed low-level offenses while in the bush, then amnesty is considered. High-level offenses or crimes may be crimes against humanity. These are very serious crimes, like mass murder, like genocide. Their amnesty may not be granted, and those will be taken through the court process.
The Commission collaborates with courts to ensure a comprehensive process for considering candidates for amnesty. The process of granting amnesty involves consulting with individuals in areas where atrocities were committed, ensuring that candidates for amnesty are integrated into their communities.
We first go there, prepare the people, find out that there are no feelings of revenge, and if there are feelings of revenge, then we counsel the people, we talk to them, and we are happy to report that most of our people are well accepted back in their communities.
After undergoing psychosocial support, individuals are awarded a certificate of amnesty. However, this amnesty privilege cannot be reinstated if violated.
And that certificate means you will not be prosecuted for the offenses you may have committed while in the bush. And so that certificate is very, very important, because it means that you are a free person, that you can engage in all civic activities, that you can even stand for elections. So it means that we wash away all your sins, as long as you promise not to sin again.
Ex-fighters are provided with startup packages including 260,000 shillings, mattresses, saucepans, beans and maize regardless of their previous status. The Amnesty Commission is considering to implement skilling programs to equip ex-combatants with practical skills like carpentry and mechanics that can enhance their livelihoods. This initiative will support their transition into productive members of society. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
And the High Court Criminal Division has allowed the Director of Public Prosecutions to take over the case filed against General Muhoozi Kainerugaba by lawyer Hassan Male Mabirizi. General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is accused of addressing a political gathering at Kololo Independence Grounds before retiring from the army, which contravenes the UPDF Act.
On 17th August 2023, Buganda Road Court Chief Magistrate Ronald Kaizi allowed prosecution to take the file for review in High Court in the case filed by lawyer Hassan Male Mabirizi against General Muhoozi Kainerugaba and 7 others. Among the issues to be determined by High Court was whether the complainant Hassan Male Mabirizi had locus to amend the charge sheet by adding more suspects, and whether the matter was amendable for review, and whether the laws were followed in transferring and taking the file from City Hall Court by the Director of Public Prosecution. Although this case was not right for review, Judge Michael Elubu determined the other grounds. Basing his ruling under Article 120 of the Constitution, the Director of Public Prosecution's Office has a right to take over any case and at any time.
His complaint that his right to be heard was flouted is therefore unfounded. This file is now before this court, and no court can sanction any illegality that comes to its notice.
Judge Michael Elubu said under Provision 171 and 221 of the Chief Magistrates Act, the Trial Magistrate Ronald Kaizi acted lawfully to take over the file from the City Hall Court.
It cannot be faulted in any way for legitimately exercising a statutory prerogative to call for, transfer, and take over the hearing of the file. In the result, it is directed that the amended charge sheet filed on the 13th July 2023 was received in error and is accordingly struck out.
However, court nullified the amendments made in the charge sheet by the complainant Hassan Male Mabirizi by adding more suspects.
It was argued for the Mabirizi that he had just filed the case and summons had not been issued. It was certainly not a bar as shown above. After the takeover, the DPP became the only proper party in the matter and assumed prosecution control.
Court kicked out Hassan Male Mabirizi in this matter, allowing DPP's office to take over the file. The complainant Hassan Male Mabirizi vowed to appeal the ruling.
Because Judge Elubu is contradicting himself. You cannot say in one issue that the matter is not amenable to revision. Then after that, you go ahead and revise the record that the parties were illegally added, that I had no locus. They are serious matters. For example, what about fair hearing? If I file my case and I'm in prison, you claim to take over and you don't serve me. Yet the court order was the record was so clear that you serve the respondent. You serve the prosecutor.
He also highlights the reasons why on several occasions he objects to taking over his case by the DPP's office.
So far I have more than 3 cases where our board has taken over and discontinued under her hand. The fresh one is Chagulanyi's case at LDC court. Everything was clear. They took over, they never came back to court. The time they came back to court, it was a withdrawal. So the DPP's office has been used to abuse the process, contrary to the Constitution. So if we cannot allow them to keep taking over our cases, and this is a matter which the Constitutional Court noted in Kaihura's case, that the Constitution tells you to take over and continue.
Prosecution in this matter was represented by Ivan Chaze, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Traffic in Port Portal City came to a standstill as Opposition National Unity Platform Party President Robert Chagulanyi embarked on a nationwide Kunga Gwanga campaign. Crowds gathered on the streets chanting praise to the party leader.
Opposition National Unity Platform Party President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu arrived in Fort Portal accompanied by other party members from different regions. A drive through the city centre attracted crowds as Nup leader headed to Jubilee Radio for a 2-hour talk show. Party supporters gathered outside the radio premises, with many listening in on their cell phones. Party members will talk to share the Awakening Uganda campaign and peaceful political coexistence without an interference.
It shows a good picture and they should continue with that spirit because we're in a multi-party system. That's what they should know, and the government must know that without opposition, the government cannot also work. We need to come together, work together like other governments.
Tetwagala kukozesa violence, tetwagala kukozesa mundu, twagala mmwe bannayuganda kennyini mututeeke mu buyinza, twagala kukomyawo kye bayita servant leadership. Ng'omukulembeze yenna abeera mukozi w'abantu, obeera servant. Bano abantu be babosi, kuba bakulembeze babeerawo ku lw'abantu. A good politician nosemera kugira okutu habuli mwebembezi wena owakubayizire. Okola ebintu bisatu. Oyinza ohulirize, ogarukemuko okola enchwamu.
This then opened party office at Ruhandika Street and headed to Whispering Gardens.
Kunga toro kunga. Uganda kunga.
And government has been urged to focus on the construction of airfields and airstrips to fulfill dreams of children who aspire to become pilots or even astronauts. This was a calling by those with expertise in the field as they witnessed the launch of a science, technology, engineering and mathematics magazine by the world's youngest youngest pilot, Captain Shema Graham, to tip youngsters with basics about airspace and aviation in Kampala.
In 2013, Graham Shema was born, but at the age of 3, he started his dream of becoming a pilot after a police helicopter lifted the roof of his grandmother's house in Luzira on the outskirts of Kampala.
Captain Shema's dream, it was just a miracle. Accident came into a miracle. When he was 3 years, the police helicopter blew off his grandmother's roof at the age of 3. Then he was inside. There will be no helicopter or plane again who blew off my grandmother's roof. And since then, he started disturbing his mother. He wants to be a pilot.
So, he frequently posed many questions about flying to his grandmother, which prompted his mother Shamimu Mwanaisha to pick up her son's dream and took him to a flying academy. Between January and March 2020 as a trainee, he flew 3 times as a co-pilot on a Cessna 172 aircraft. His chances of attaining his dream were brightened at the age of 7 when the world's airspace icon Elon Musk, whom he had admired visiting planet Mars with for a long time, assisted him. Elon Musk since then funded his aircraft and school bills at Kampala International School.
I was attending the most amazing lessons with my lovely instructors and tutors. I can't forget the space lessons, reality of Mars using my virtual reality gadgets, the Mars missions, the aviation lessons, how airplanes fly, the coding lessons.
A number of Ugandans praised the younger star's dream.
Government should really come up to appreciate this sponsorship from Musk Elon, and also request that the program be expanded to involve many other children from Uganda.
Captain Shema is a model to every kid here in Uganda and Africa at large.
Although Captain Shema Graham is prominent in airspace at a tender age, experts in the field cited mythical challenges that still prevent parents from career guidance.
Some of the illusions in the aviation are that Africa is poor, yet Captain Shema doesn't come from a rich family, but he has managed to further his dream. Others say women can't do STEM, yet we have very many women in the STEM field. When you go to the Medic, we have women there. We have even Dr. Savannah, a lecturer of mathematics at Chambago University. We have women in the Uganda Airlines who are carrying the Uganda air flag high. The mythological allusion has to change because by a message that it is possible, everyone can make it, regardless of a background.
They want a government to build more aircrafts and airfields across the country and further encourage science and innovation.
It brought Uganda Airlines onto board. It has inspired many in Uganda, especially the kids. Satellites. Uganda, we have airfields, though due to poor infrastructures, they need to be developed. So I'm calling upon the government to develop the airstrips we have in Uganda, because if they develop the airstrips, that will improve air transport in Uganda because it's the safest and quickest means of transport compared to road transport.
Now at the age of 10, Captain Shema Graham, with the help of aviation and airspace experts, has launched a book teaching Ugandans about the basics of aviation and airspace.
These STEM skills are important because they spread through every part of our lives, and I believe by giving these young people opportunities to explore STEM-related concepts.
I truly believe that this magazine has the potential to do just that. So through this magazine, our aim is to showcase the amazing achievements of young aviation and space enthusiasts around the world. We want to highlight the latest innovations and technologies in these fields and to provide a platform for young people to learn, to share and connect with each other.
Did you know an accident from the police helicopter has developed into the youngster's dream of flying? Captain Shema Graham intends to stretch from a pilot to an astronaut. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
PG Magistrates Court has ordered an Israeli national, Riyad Watend, facing murder charges of his wife, Monica Nabukenya, to be transferred from Chigo to Luzira prison for treatment. Meanwhile, lawyers and relatives of the 11 NUP supporters accused of terrorism are unhappy with the Naweru Magistrates Court proceedings in the absence of the accused persons.
An Israeli nation, Radio Wate, now on remand for 3 months, is accused of killing his wife Monica Nabukenya. Radio Wate appeared before Magistrate Ezra Okem Solomon at Mpigi Magistrates Court to answer murder charges. Through his lawyer Isaac Ayewazibwe, Radio Wate asked court to transfer him to the prison where he can receive treatment. He also presented a letter from his doctor requiring him to have treatment.
The reason is that he has not been able to access the required medical attention that his condition requires. We submitted this report to court from his doctors.
Prosecution led by Joy Opolot didn't object. Magistrate Ezra Okem Solomon granted Radio Wate's application and ordered his transfer from Chigo prison to Ruzila government prison.
It is my view that it is only just that the prisoner be taken to a facility where he can, his medical condition can be best managed to enable him to prepare for his trial. Prosecution
told court that inquiries into the matter are still ongoing. Radio Wate's lawyers said they are ready to defend their client.
In the interest of justice, we believe they require to have the time to do their investigations so that they don't ever make an excuse that we hurried them and then we cause haphazard investigation.
The accused Radio Wate has been remanded to Luzira Government Prison, and Magistrate Ezra Okem Solomon adjourned the case to 19th September 2023 for further mention. Redewat is accused of killing his wife Monica Nabukenya and dumping her body in a septic tank after a DNA test to their newborn baby, only to find out that he's not the right father. Meanwhile, lawyers and relatives of NOP supporters facing charges of terrorism are unhappy with Nawel Magistrates Court for carrying out proceedings in the absence of the accused. The lawyers and relatives waited for the accused to appear at court. However, Magistrate Sala Nambuya's clerk informed them court conducted the proceedings via Zoom.
I have issues with, the way Zoom has proceeded without adequate notice to us as the lawyers and as the relatives. But even if they had wanted to proceed on Zoom, we would expect that it would have been very important to do at least public Zooming, where you put a screen there in the courtroom and the public follows the proceedings.
However, the accused Betty Muyodi and Nabayengo Joelia appeared at court in person. Lawyer Shami Malende highlighted the rights and fair hearing of the accused.
But also, second, even if they had wanted to proceed in camera, which is allowed under the law, they are supposed to follow certain procedures.
Court will resume on 12th September 2023 for mention of the matter. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Twine, has urged the public to test for hepatitis B and C for proper management. This was during the national commemoration of World Hepatitis Day, marked at Kazo District Playground under the theme One Life, One Liver.
Residents of Kazo district gathered at the Ministry of Health camp organized to test for hepatitis status during the commemoration of the World Hepatitis Day. Officials from the Ministry of Health chose Kazo district because it has the highest rate of non-communicable and infectious diseases. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. Diana Twine urged communities within the district to be responsible, citing that hepatitis is more infectious.
You can actually get hepatitis from the saloon. Hepatitis is highly infectious. It is more infectious than HIV. I was telling people that you can be in the household with someone with hepatitis and also you have someone with HIV. You will stay safe with HIV person, but you will not stay safe with hepatitis. I can assure you it is 100 times more infectious than HIV. So it is very, very important that we take this message, those of you who have come here today, that don't live here. We brought these facilities here to make sure that you take advantage of the services that are here. You get tested and you get vaccinated if you are not sick.
We have listened carefully to the statistics from the district. We are seeing different data from our DHIS2. Statistics from DHIS2 indicate that in the year 2022, prevalence was at 17.9% in Kazo. So out of 3,372 people who were screened, 606 people tested positive. That is a high number. I would like to request the DHO to urgently liaise with our DHI team to ensure that this data is screened.
Hepatitis B is a liver disease infection and inflammation of the liver caused by hepatitis B virus, HPV. For some people who get hepatitis B, the virus stays in the body, causing a lifelong illness like scarring of the liver, liver cancer, and liver failure. The World Health Organization estimates that in Africa alone, 91 million Africans are living with hepatitis, and in 2019, 1.2 million new hepatitis infections were recorded, and 125,000 hepatitis-related deaths occurred among young people.
WHO supports regional and national efforts to eliminate viral hepatitis by 2030 through providing clear guidance for decentralized and simplified person-centered prevention, testing, treatment of viral hepatitis.
Hepatitis has no cure, however. Treatment is given to delay or prevent chronic liver disease progression and minimize the risk of complication like liver cancer. Hepatitis B spreads through the transmission from an infected mother to a newborn baby, unsafe blood transfusion, and unprotected sex, among others.
The best time to give it is usually in early childhood. And fortunately now the government has introduced birth dose. For all babies born, they should be able to get their hepatitis B vaccination within the first 24 hours.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Paya amazi nsobola okusasula ne momo no ha nsobola okusasula ne momo ha
yino merchant code yaffe
kirungi
sebo meka
ebiri nyabo nsobola okusasula ne momo
bambi nedda
ha baby tuve wano
Mukibango okusasula ne MTN Momo kigirako emigaso mingi n'egisingako eri buli omu tekikola makulu okubanga tugirina.
Hello, nkimye rent nsobola okusasula ne momo yes osobola
sasula obaggula ne MTN Momo olwo tukuddize ssente oleweeki ya mwereere kozesa Momo app owanyiga *155*3#.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to Windy to see the gorillas. Then we watched the cup final in London. On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, seriously, Granny.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The drilling of development and production wells for the Kingfisher project in Kikube district started in January 2023. While the delivery and assembly of the 3 drilling rigs for the Tilenga project is ongoing. Enabling infrastructure works for the other required facilities, including the central processing facilities, well pads, flow lines, and camps, remain on course. The produced resources will be commercialized via the East Africa crude oil pipeline, which will run from Uganda to Tanzania, and the 60,000 barrels of oil per day Uganda refinery project, which will be constructed in Hoima. These projects are bringing investment of $15 billion into the country. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Dear Airtel customer, we know that there are days when unexpected stays in hospital stand in the way of your family's welfare. That is why Hospital Center is here to give you up to 100,000 shillings every night you spend in hospital. Hospital Center also offers up to 4 million in funeral benefit. Dial *185*7*6# to purchase Hospital Center on Airtel Money for as little as 1,000, 3,000 or 5,000 shillings a month. Your cover for the first 1 month is free. Hospital Center is underwritten by Prudential and powered by Turaco. Prudential and Turaco are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Airtel Money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Ugandans living in Canada have been urged to invest in their home country so as to generate employment opportunities for the citizens. This was communicated at the recently concluded NRM Diaspora Conference in Canada, spearheaded by the third Deputy Prime Minister, Rukia Nakadama.
Want everybody to join the NRM.
On the NRM Diaspora Conference, which was held this month in Canada, the third Deputy Prime Minister Rukia Nakadama says that government is ready to engage Ugandans living abroad to invest back home.
I want to take this opportunity to move a vote of thanks to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for supporting us in organizing the NRM Symposium chapter in Canada by talking to the people, those Ugandans in Canada. He talked to them on Zoom. So we were so happy. Those Ugandans were so happy. I want to inform you that we talked to these people and we requested them to come and invest in Uganda, because many people are there, but they don't know what is happening in Uganda. They have their money. Some fear to come and put this money in the country because they don't know what is it really. But we confirmed to them security is very okay. We have a one-stop center that is at the Uganda, the Chamber of Commerce. When you go to the Chamber of Commerce, it is a one-stop center. You can register your business in one day.
Haji Abe Walusimbi, the president's advisor on diaspora issues, says this will enable them realize the achievements of NRM government in the development of the country.
Appeal to our fellow Ugandans in the diaspora to stay calm. Whatever is going on in the social media that Uganda is bleeding, those are lies. You saw our president spoke it to us, and he's ready to support us. We thank His Excellency the President for that.
Meanwhile, President Yoweri Museveni has been applauded for his outstanding leadership skills. Matua Job Richard, a renowned Pan-Africanist, singles out President Museveni's decision to denounce homosexuality in Uganda as a sign of a true Pan-Africanist. Matua, however, invites President Museveni to weigh in and put an end on what he terms syndicated corruption, especially after World Bank threatened to stop financial support to Uganda through loans.
In line with the letter I have written to His Excellency, the petition I've written to His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, to drop and terminate all the ministers that were previously involved in the scandalous relief program of Karamoja. The bank has refused to fund any more project in Uganda because of the Anti-Homosexuality Act. World Bank has been funding a government program to a tune of up to 6.7 trillion Ugandan cedi. Now, World Bank has refused any more new program to be funded in Uganda. Now, we must now go and harden on this area where government is losing a lot of money.
Airport called Kabalega Airport.
Amolata district is at the verge of losing its entire headquarters if a payment of 900 million shillings is not realized. LC5 chairperson Geoffrey Ochen says unscrupulous claimants of the district headquarters land went to court and court ruled in their favor. Ochen says since the district does not have that money, they have been ordered to vacate the offices that have just been rebuilt to a tune of worth billions of shillings. He made the remarks during a Land Awareness Week organized by Ministry of Lands, ISAF Uganda and Pelham Uganda in Lango sub-region.
Big obligations that we need to work it out. Otherwise, we will lose some of our government properties. Because like Amolata Town Council, they have debts of over 900 million on issues of land. The Town Council offices, the newly constructed offices, cannot be accessed because of issues of land dispute. An individual went to court, judgment was reached in their favor, and yet at the time of passing judgment, information is available on record indicates that town council are not filing their defense. So we are now in the process of negotiating and finding out how to settle that. But otherwise, if we fail, that building will be auctioned. We have written to government to request for assistance. I had engagement with the Permanent Secretary and Minister of Local Government, and he promised that in the near future, in case of any issue on government land, we should write to them. They will give us lawyers to defend the town council or the district local government. Unless government comes to our rescue, Molata Town Council will lose most of its properties to people of dubious character because of issues of land ownership that was contested, but court made judgment in their absence before they had even filed their defense. So we either pay the cost and reclaim back the properties, or we don't pay and we lose.
And Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebazes, has commended Grain Pearls, the inaugural local fertilizer blending and bagging factory in Uganda, for pioneering efforts for value-added production of local grains. He called upon farmers to endorse and invest in domestic agricultural initiatives. The minister was visiting Grain Pearls factory located at Mukono Industrial Area.
With a substantial investment of approximately 700 million Ugandan shillings, the project sets out to cultivate a skilled workforce within the marginalized female population. Rwanda District Woman Member of Parliament Prosim Babazia Kampura, also Commissioner of the 11th Parliament of Uganda, said that high inspiration was drawn from observations of successful women groups. The program offers 2% interest rate, which solves the problem of high interest rates charged by other saving groups in the district.
Of all, the main reason was to educate them. Mindset change towards working and towards saving. There are people or there are women who make money, but before they reach home, they have nothing in their pocket. So I found it, I sat down, I've been studying this project from different groups. I went to Nairobi, where I visited different groups. I came into Uganda. I have been visiting the groups of the Uganda groups.
Some of the locals commended it for its potential benefits. The launch of the Prosperous Women Rwanda Savings Scheme marks a significant step towards the economic empowerment of women in the district.
Upgrade your lifestyle with the all-new entry-loaded Chillax voice bundles. Now, call all networks in Uganda with Chillax voice bundles. Call all networks, no expiry, no worries. Dial *100 *1# and select call all networks. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Molt Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Here is the 2023 musical launch of the year. 16th of September 2023, Kololo Ceremonial Grounds will be the only place to be, as the whole of Uganda will gather to witness the Museveni Awoma musical launch by Eman Sereko, also known as Munamasaka. Don't miss all your artists, comedians, stage and movie actors, members of parliament, ministers, leaders at different levels, led by the Right Honorable Premier Robin Nabanja. The chief guest of the day will be the one and only Sabalwanyi Jajamwami, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. All at a free entry at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds on the 16th of September 2023. Do not miss.
Paya amazi. Nsobola okusasula ne momo? No. Ha. Hey, nsobola okusasula ne momo? Ha.
Yino merchant code yaffe.
Oh. Kirungi.
Sebo meka?
Ebiri. Nyabo, nsobola okusasula ne momo?
Bambi nedda.
Ha. Baby, tuve wano.
Mukibango okusasula ne MTN Momo kigirako emigaso mingi n'egisingako eri buli omu tekikola makulu okubanga tugirina.
Hello, nchimye rent.
Nsobola okusasula ne momo? Ha.
Yes, osobola.
Sasula obaggula ne MTN Momo olwo tukuddize ssente oleweeki ya mwerere. Kozesa Momo app owanyiga *155*3#.
Welcome back. Now in business news, Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, has commended Grain Pulse, the inaugural local fertilizer blending and bagging factory in Uganda, for pioneering efforts for value-added production of local grains. He called upon farmers to endorse and invest in domestic agricultural initiatives.
Grain Pulse Uganda Premier Fertilizer Blending and Bagging Factory has started offering tailor-made crop nutrition. The factory employs advanced technology to produce basic fertilizers in customized blends, optimized for different crops. Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries Frank Tumwebaze toured Grain Pulse's fertilizer factory.
How shall we reduce the price of inputs? Inputs include seed, inputs include fertilizers, and many other consumables they use in the value chain. We will be able to bring down the cost if government deliberately works with such investments to reduce their investment costs and operating costs, and then indirectly we shall not be supporting these people, we shall be supporting the farmer, because whatever investment they put in will determine the way they price their products. So that's why this is urgent and it's a priority for us as government to partner with them.
Grain Pulse Fertilizer Blending Factory employs advanced technology to locally mix basic fertilizers to create tailored blends. The substantial annual capacity of 300,000 metric tons of fertilizer blends ensures a consistent supply of fertilizers to farmers. The company collaborates with farmer groups to support value creation along the entire value chain. Hannington Karuhanga pointed out the prevailing challenge of smallholder farmers lacking logistical access to markets.
What does the minister take from here is a practical experience of safe food, which is processed, it is added to value, but also engagement with the farmers to make sure that quality control is essential for sustainable agricultural business.
Alta Theron, CEO of Grain Pulse Uganda, says the company creates employment opportunities to produce high-quality crop-specific fertilizer blends.
We are working directly with smallholder farmers throughout the value chain. What we do is that we start the journey with the farmer on crop-specific fertilizer. We believe that we need to give the farmer the right fertilizer for the specific crop. So we've got fertilizer for coffee, we've got it for maize, we've got it for Irish potato, banana, whatever you need.
In light of Grain Pulse's success investment in animal feeds benefiting livestock farmers, the government is urged to directly invest in local enterprises to alleviate the high cost of fertilizer within the country. Amiona Francisco and Robert Buaita, UBC News.
And the Director, Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Basil Hajar, has reiterated the significance of basic military training to students in the hotel and tourism sector. He was at Jinja Gaddafi cantonment representing the Minister Tom Butime in the passing out of students from Uganda Hotel and Tourism Training Institute. At least 52 students from the institute have completed a 2-week course in basic military training.
The exercise of martial arts. We expect the 30 rounds, all of them to be on that. At least over 15 are there.
Training, because if you look at the terrain, the environment, the ecosystem that you deal with in tourism is not staying in cities. Even the rangers that Wildlife Authority recruits are given full military training because one, you're going to protected areas, and protected areas are far away. You're going to talking about Kidepo, Bwindi, Makshonfall. Most of them are located along the borders. And you know our borders are porous. For example, in Kidepo, we find that it's bordering South Sudan. So it's important that you have the basic military skill to defend yourself. But also you are dealing with wildlife. Anything can happen in the field. You should be fit, aware, alert, and able to protect people around you.
Proud. In my language, where I come from, in Kapeka, we say, we know Kwesunako. That you should be proud that among the 15 million, 20 million students out there, you are the ones who have undergone this course. The skills you demonstrated there are skills that are not just for graduation, but are skills that will enable you in life, one, to be a team player.
Where we have come as a country and where we are and where we are going. We even talked about homosexuality. And you know now, most of the hotels we have here, they belong to individuals. So we were telling them don't play around with people's business.
And with that, let's take a look at how the shilling fared against other currencies. Well, that does it for news tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
inspiring Uganda.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso. Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala, we have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday